Hello, friends and family at Mitchell Road. Come to you today with a long video about two really important things happening. The first of which is the reopening of the church with services. Pastor friend texted me the other day and said, do you feel like when you're planning a reopening, like you're planning a vacation, but you don't know how many people are coming, you don't know where the destination is, or how much it's going to cost, but pretty much everybody's going to feel disappointed? And I said, yeah, I kind of do feel that way. We don't know what's exactly going to happen, but we are planning the best we can. And I do think this, not everybody's going to be disappointed, because we're going to get to come together and we're going to get to celebrate, we're going to cry, we're going to lament, and we're going to remind ourselves that the world is fallen, but at the same time that God is sovereign. We just finished a series on Daniel, faithfulness in the fallen world, and now providentially we move to a new sermon series on loving one another, and there couldn't be a better time to go through this together. Here's what we're going to do. For the next 3 weeks, we will make sure that we continue to record a live streamed service. We will play that on Sunday, the 7th, the 14th, and the 21st. So if you feel sick at all, if you feel unhealthy at all, if you feel like not ready to rejoin and gather back in worship, then we would want you to stay at home. Stay with your family, watch that service. It's the same exact service, same songs that we're going to do on Sunday. But for those of you who are ready to reemerge, as I've said in emails and correspondence, we are meeting on the soccer field, which is on the right-hand side of the church. The reason we can do that is because if we meet on the soccer field, we can sing, we can social distance, we can gather more people. We're going to meet there on 2 times. At 9 o'clock a.m., we'll have a service, and then at 7 o'clock p.m., hopefully with our June summers, it will be cool enough early in the morning or late at night. It's going to be a unique way to come together and celebrate. So get with your community group, journey group, Sunday school, pick one of those times, come and worship with us. We need all of you to bring either a blanket or your own lawn chairs. We're not going to have any chairs set up, so you'll need to bring that with you, set up close to the stage. And we'll have communion set up this Sunday. We'll sing together, we'll worship together, and it's going to be a great time. We would ask that you would respect each other's boundaries. It's awkward if you say to somebody, can I have a hug, or can I hug you? I mean, what are they going to say to that? So just feel that out with everybody, and we would say, please, for this Sunday, let's keep away from each other. Let's be hugging from a distance. Let's make sure that we don't become too easy as we try to open and reemerge. We still want to keep all of these things intact. We will have communion, and the elders will have masks on, and they'll be serving you with gloved hands individually. So we have a way to do that we feel is safe. And masks are, of course, welcomed, not required, but welcomed. We know it stops the spread of disease. But we do want to come, sing together, and enjoy life together. And we're also, this Sunday, we're going to go through a process of celebrating, lamenting, and then communion. And I think it's going to be wonderful. Which gets me to the second thing I want to talk about today, the other big issue of our week, which is the tragic death of George Floyd. I mentioned it a week ago on Thursday, but that was before even all the riots happened. And of course, that service is given to you on Sunday. And we saw more tragedy develop across the weekend. And we know that people are desperately hurting. And we also know that we need to pray for healing. So here's what we would like for you to do. We'd like for you to think through these 3 L's. And this is our pastoral charge, that during this time, we would listen, we would learn, we would lament, and that we would love. First of all, that we would listen. In this document, in this email, there's going to be a list of resources, some sermons, some lectures, some books, and it would be great to start to listen to some of these resources. You may or may not agree with all of them, but let's start as a mainly white church listening to our African American brothers and sisters and learning to hear what they've gone through in their lives. If you know someone of color or minority, listen to them and listen to each other. We need to hear from each other because we have different opinions and we're at different places of our understanding. Learn. There is so much that we can learn that we don't know, not only about the Bible, but about history and about where we need to go as a church. And so grab any one of those books listed, and there's others, and let's learn. And hopefully those two things will lead us to lament. Look, I'm not a fan of the phrase, I don't have a racist bone in my body. I think everybody has a racist bone in their body. There is no one righteous, no, not one. And so this is something like sexual brokenness, like pride, like so many other sins that all of humanity is going to deal with. And we've been dealing with this one since the Tower of Babel. And so we need to be the chief of repenters, and we need to learn to lament over the pain that everybody feels in this world right now. It seems like the fabric of our nation is tearing apart, at least when I record this on Tuesday in June. But maybe it's always been threadbare. We were founded on Judeo-Christian principles, but if we haven't lived out those principles, then we can't form a fabric that can sustain all the anxiety and stress of a nation, especially one that increasingly lives not in the presence of God. So we need to listen. We need to learn to lament and to love. Find somebody to love. One of the best ways you can do this, we can't solve all the problems right now. Some are too big for us. But what we need to do is love your neighbors. Love the people that you interact with. Love your community, even when you disagree with them. Find someone to love with the name of Christ and love them well. And with that comes listening and learning and lamenting. And of course, all of this needs to be bathed in prayer. We need to pray for our law enforcement, for the city council, for the politicians, for the pastors, for the people that are making policy decisions. We need to pray for the people that are hurting, for the minority communities, for George Floyd's family. There's a lot of prayer that we need to pray, and I imagine in the weeks and days ahead, we'll have a night of prayer where we can come together and pour out our hearts for God to heal our nation. As I said at the end of last week's sermon, our only hope really is Jesus. It's our only hope. But until he returns and make all things new, we're called to be on this mission of being faithful in the fallen world. Let's join together. Let's do it as a church. Let's reemerge those who feel welcome and celebrate and lament. And then as we watch what's happening in our nation, let's go through those 4 L's together and see where the Lord would lead us. I'm so proud to be with you walking through this journey of life. I can't wait to worship with you 9 or 7 or on our live stream. And Lord willing, we'll see you soon. All the resources will be down in this email, further details about the services and further details about resources that can help you with your learning and reading. God bless.